Doc Talk. Yeah, we keeping it smooth. Your favorite paralegal got the legal groove. From the stars in the courtroom to your cousin's case. We breaking it all down. No rush, just pace. Hey, what's good, everybody? This is your girl, your favorite paralegal, aka Cassandra Lynn, and welcome to Legal Doc Talk 24/7. So, this is Andre Harvey court update. It just seems like everybody just forgot about him. Now, just by me saying that does not mean I agree with the actions that he has taken in the past couple of years. I'm just saying that you would think that family would be supportive or show some type of support when you're going through, this type of lawsuit or litigation, especially the charges that is brought against you. The last time I reported on this, showed a video of him in court, and he was just looking a mess. The last report, I believe it was a hearing to determine whether or not he was competent to stand trial. And I read, a couple of articles regarding, the things that he has said to police, to his attorney regarding what has happened and transpired over the course of a couple of years. And it did seem disturbing, which prompted the court to say, okay, let's see if this individual is competent to stand trial. But they did have that hearing. They found that he is competent. And so because pretty much what happens is the litigation process was paused. He has to go through an evaluation, they have to present it to the court, and then the judge will make this determination. So once he said, yes, he is competent, then it reactivated the case and they're moving forward with litigation. So this update is pretty much what is happening or what has happened and what is going to happen in the future. Now, here it does show that Andre does have three open cases. One is the divorce. Um, yeah, divorce with the child. So that is still open. And I believe that it is still open depending on what happens in this criminal proceeding. Because it is tied into that, because she reported domestic violence. And when you do that in a family law case, it kind of change. I don't want to say change the rules, but the documentation that has to be filed, there's certain things, a certain language that you have to include in there. So more than likely they are going to see what happens in this criminal proceeding and then update the family law case accordingly. Now, I'm not going to go into both of the open cases regarding previously the one where he had the pow pow case, and then the other one is the assault case. So I'm just going to go into the assault case because they are doing them simultaneously. So they have a readiness for trial. So on November 21st, they are going to determine if they are ready to go to trial. And if so, then December 1st will be his jury trial in this case, in both cases. Okay. If for some reason they get to that trial readiness hearing and they're not able to, or they said that they're not ready for trial, or they might need more time, they might schedule not schedule, file a motion for continuance, then we're going to see that December 1st is going to be pushed back. But as of right now, they're going to go before the judge on the 21st of November and tell them whether or not they are ready for trial. If they are, then the trial would be on December 1st. Now, it is close to the holidays. So if they, in the event, say that they aren't ready for trial, this is going to be pushed out to 2026, probably January and February. Usually around this time, judges go on break, um, attorneys go on break, Everybody goes on break because it's the holidays, but that means that it's going to be a longer time for Andre to be sitting in jail. Now, what has changed on here is it it is kind of confusing. So I'm just going to sum it up. I'm not going to blabber on too long because I don't want to confuse anybody. And matter of fact, let me just go ahead and do this. I think this is good. So these are the charges. So the initial charge was filed on March 11th, 2025. Okay. Then come September 3rd, they were like, okay, something's, something's not right. So they filed a competency or a request for him to be evaluated. So they filed that on September 3rd, which halted everything. Then on October 1st, they came back before the court, said, okay, he's found competent. And so on October 11th, that's when the case repicked up, and it's like he's doing his preliminary hearing pretty much, letting them know what all his charges are and what's going to happen on forward. On the 17th of October, more information was submitted to the court. And this is what we see here. Now, what is different? So he was charged with assault. He actually has two counts. Let me get to my notes. He has two counts. The first one is corporal injury on current or former spouse, cohabitant, or date. And then the second count is an assault with a deadly pow pow, force likely to produce great bodily injury. So those were the two initial counts. What has changed on those is that the judge or the court, I want to say, added an enhancement. Andre has priors. As you can see, for instance, if we look at this first one right here, it says count one felony. Then it says count one enhancement prior, one serious or violent felony conviction. So he has enhancements on both of those counts, which is not good, which means that the day that he goes before the judge, they're going to be considering how much to throw, pretty much the book. Let's put it that way. They're going to be considering throwing the book at him. Now, what I have read is that in the California law, penalties for repeat offenders increase. And they call that what the three strikes law. So if a person has two prior serious or violent felony convictions and they are convicted of a new felony, then the sentence for the current felony is at least 25 years to life in state prison, or three times the sentence of the current offense, whichever is greater. So the prosecution is required to pursue charges that is classified as violent felonies due to the strike status. This is so sad. This is sad. But let me read y'all what happens. So let me see. So for instance, the count one, it says enhancement prior one serious or violent felony conviction, Penal Code 667E1. And it states that if a defendant has one prior conviction, the sentence for the new felony conviction is doubled. So, for example, if the new felony base sentence is 3 years, the total time served would be 6 years. These are the enhancements that were added onto that first count. Circumstances of, let's see, aggravation, great violence, bodily harm, engaged in violent conduct. That's number two. Number three, this is the third enhancement. Prior convictions increase in seriousness. And then the fourth, prior prison or jail term under. So he has four enhancements added two, actually five. That's five enhancements added to that first count. And the same with the second. I think with the second count, they have one, two, it shows three enhancements. Now, everybody's like, okay, well, what is an enhancement? So it's just an additional penalty that can be added to a sentence for a current crime. Yeah. I just don't know what to say. I, California is a liberal state. However, when it comes to crime, they're very, very strict on that, especially when you're dealing with some type of violence, as you can see. And I'm kind of reading up on this, and they take no mercy on people who are habitual violent offenders or those who are first time offenders. None whatsoever. So if you have a prior conviction in California, from what I read, I know every state is different. So right now we're talking about California, so I read up on California. So this here, I would say Andre needs the most support. Once again, I am not agreeing with everything that Andre has done, but from a family perspective, you would think that the family would not just be focusing on one individual, but all of the individuals, especially those who have some type of mental health issue or mental illness. This man is facing majority. Now, he done spent part of his life in prison, and he's about to spend now. Hey, if you do the crime, you do the time. I am very big on that. I'm very big on that. So if he is found and he is convicted, if he's found guilty and he is convicted, then he has to do his time. But regardless of that, you would think that you would have family in your corner to support you, not support your wrong, but just support you mentally, emotionally, have that there. Like I said, if well, Andre has been known to have a temper, okay? However, besides all that, if your child does wrong, you're going to stand 10 toes, beside them and let them know, you did this, you got to do the time. That's what I'm talking about. Not being there to show support because he didn't do anything wrong, but regardless of whether what he did was right or wrong, he still should have support. So this man has two counts. He has priors. They have slapped on enhancements. Three strikes rule in California. So that means that his sentencing is this man is going to be spending some time in prison if he is found guilty. He has pleaded not guilty on, let me see, he pled not guilty on October 20th. He pled not guilty to both counts. So we're just going to see how this plays out. So to sum it up, they are called to a hearing on November 21st to see if they are ready for trial. If they are, trial will begin December 1st. In the event that they are not ready, then the trial will be pushed back to 2026, probably January, February, or whenever the judge's docket is open. He was found competent. They went ahead and added enhancements to the two charges or the two counts. That means that, and he's a prior offender. So sentencing the judge is going to use his priors to determine if he is convicted, how much time he is going to possibly get and serve. So that's the update on Andre. Uh, I pray for everybody. So just keep his mental health, mental his mind, his body, his soul. Just keep that boy in his prayers because at this point it just feels like nobody. And then when I say nobody, his family. I know he probably don't give a rat's butt about any of us out here, but at least his family, it's like, hey, yeah, I know Blueface just got out, and everybody is in, all on the Blueface bandwagon. Andre over there just sitting there like, damn. But what y'all think about this? How y'all think this is going to play out, knowing now that this boy is going to be facing the remainder of his life, probably, well, probably not the remainder, but it's going to be a significant amount of time if he is convicted. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until then, you all be blessed and I'm out. Bye.